Alright, hello. This is 119GA. Uh, Here's my set review for Future versus ORP550. I don't know who ORP550 is. Future is a good man, Michael Finch, person I'm doing this set review for. Finch plays Sheik. This guy plays Fox. Um, so, as soon as the game starts, we'll definitely be able to see. Sorry, I'll definitely be able to see how they interact with each other regarding the usage of ASCI down, shield, and all the like. So whenever I play against anybody at all, as Sheik, it's very important for me to know exactly how good they are at converting off of holding down, because that's just like very, very important. Like you can use so many more tools if they don't know how to deal with a lot of them. So like as soon as the game starts, there'll definitely be things that happen that it's like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing in Sheik. And that would change my approach to the matchup drastically. So I think it's always good to very much test the waters, and we'll see how it goes overall. So here we go. Alright, let's go back to the beginning. So he immediately starts out with a dare, which is a good sign. Uh, if you see a fox do dare, dare equals knows you might want to hold down. That's very important. If people do things that beat crouch cancel and ASTI down, then you're kind of stuck in a position where it's like, okay, well, sorry, it's not that you're stuck. It's more so you realize, okay, your ASTI down and holding down tactics may be a lot less effective given the fact that they know that it's powerful. So it's good to know that he dared already. You went for a shield grab here. Shit. You went for the shield grab, and shield grab equals if you shield grab once, you're gonna shield grab more than once, especially if it's like the first thing that you do. He did a pretty shield safe aerial, so I'll say now that you've shield grab, he should understand that like, okay, you're gonna try to shield grab this attack. From this, he realizes, first of all, since you like dared him in the center of the stage, it showed that you're not as much gonna like try to like get needles like at the very beginning, because getting needles as Sheik is very good. Wait, shield grab. Tell that you'll do it again. And then the fact that you didn't go for needles tells him you want to get in the middle. And if you tried shield grabbing and you also like tried to take center stage right away, then it shows that you might try to like catch him out of like his technical stuff. The problem is, sorry, this is nice if like the fox doesn't really know how to deal with it in the sense that their tech maybe not be good enough to like deal with whatever you're doing. But because it's like you taking center stage right away and then also going for a show grab within like the first 5-10 seconds of the game shows that like, okay, he if he's like playing on point, then he may be able to just deal with a lot of what you're doing. So dare you taking center, not really taking needles, so that already tells him a lot of information. And so what I want to say is it might have been better to start out the match kind of like letting him take center, because she can't really hold center against Fox. Well, she can, but she can't just like I don't know. Fox has a much easier time of doing it. So anyway, we'll just continue. Interesting. He did an unsafe bear, so I'm already going to mark platform. On platform, didn't shield drop in time to punish. That should tell him a little bit of information. Literally from like one shield drop, sorry, from one platform interaction, it's easier for him to like tell, all right, this is like, he can like deal with this kind of stuff. Sorry, he can't deal with this kind of stuff. Let's see. I'll continue. That cannot result in kill. Almost always, because I'll be holding to the right here, just because I want to like go to the right side. I'll also be holding down on the C stick, and I'll press R right before I get hit. So there's no downside to just holding down the C stick and like pressing R. So if you do that every time that like somebody's about to hit you, and they do an attack that's ASDI down techable, then you would be able to get the opposite tech here. Not really something that's very important, but I'll put it down. Always go for opposite tech. So there's that. What else was gonna say? Oh, there's something earlier. Oh, when he was attacking your shield in the center of the stage, he did a little bit of unsafe stuff, where if you did just spam shield grab, it actually would have worked. But I'll say, I'm gonna guess you were kind of like caught off guard by the fact that like he was attacking the whole time. It seems that he kind of just like really aggressed you while you kind of moved forward at the beginning of the match, and since then you haven't been able to get your footing. So I won't comment too much on that because it seems like you're probably just like befuddled, I guess. Okay, good to note that when he shined you, he jumped up really, really high. Um, Earlier he was doing pressure. Okay, I'll say this. Fox mixes up pressure. This is good to note because just now he shined you and jumped really high, but earlier when he shined your shield, he stayed like directly on top of you. It shows that he was expecting you to have a very quick reaction to what he was doing. So like, if someone shines your shield one time and like continues to attack, and then the next time they try to dodge your out of shield option, they expect a lot of responsiveness. So this is good for the analysis of dealing with an opponent, in the sense that when, let's say they do something that's very punishable by something, but you can't really just like react to it, and then the next time you go for it and they dodge it like very, very like, they very obviously dodge what you're going to do, it's a very good tell, especially if they kind of show the fact that they'll mix up too early, that they're expecting you to be responsive, which can really help you. It shows that they will very directly pick the counter option to whatever option you did last. Now, I think you didn't punish or like try to punish what happened. Like, let's see, he shines right here. He shines and then comes down with a bear, kind of expecting you to like jump with an aerial. And he, sorry, hold on. I'm gonna change something here. Oof, that's bright. So I'll say is expecting a lot of responses. That's good to note because it may allow you to adapt better and like pick more suitable out of shield option. Okay, I messed up. We'll go here. Okay, so you got shined out of your fair. Well, I kind of want to see exactly what happened. So you go to fair. You should be able to shine right now. Oh, so he just got you before that happened. We'll call that one a fluke because usually you should be able to fair like before the shine comes out. If you shine like a little bit early. You did fair into shield, I guess expecting him to do like ASDI down and then like do some type of attack right afterwards. He did the down tilt that I think your shielding would have punished, but you just kind of didn't do it. So since that happened earlier, I'll say when using shield, be more decisive, because if you pick the option and they pick something that loses to shield, such as like a down tilt at a spacing in which you can show grab, it's like you might as well use the option that like you picked. Essentially. So when using shield, be more decisive. Uh, if this extends to other aspects of gameplay, we can call that like an overall like habit of like what's happening. Like if you were to short hop above a fox's head and like not fair, even though like you picked the right position, then I'll say there's that. But using shield, be more decisive. Well, I'll say actually was not decisive in following through with the option. That's something to note. When he landed after you baited him, he attacked right away. That's something good to note from a fox. Like, if they ACI down or they land right after an attack that doesn't have much lag, and they like, sorry, so they attack right away, it's very good information because it shows that they're aware that your attacks don't have too much lag and also too much stun, and then also when it comes to ACI down and stuff like that, he's very aware. So at this point in the game, well, especially because he's like doing so well, but like he's definitely aware of how to play around Sheik. And so at this point, I think it would be better to like not be as aggressive and kind of just stay away because you're gonna have to play a lot more optimally to deal with like a fox that's doing stuff like this. Recovery 119. Did you crouch cancel that down tilt? You did. Okay, so something nice, an option that's like actually kind of hard to do, but if you do something and then you expect them to like follow, like at this percent, most of what it can do, with the exception of up smash and obviously like a grab or some type of aerial, so pretty much any like grounded move, which he has shown to try to use down tilt, you can like take it and then like run up and grab him, which is kind of difficult. And if he's close enough, you could do ASTI down grab, which is just like holding R and then pressing A. But see that's just like an option. I don't think at this point though. I definitely would have expected him to jump so I can understand the forward tilt. So actually, I'll just continue on. A good option to cover a fox that isn't necessarily attacking but like using this is an up air. At this percent, I don't think it would knock him down, but it would be enough to like keep him away from the ground so that you can like get away, throw out another attack, or even jump to a different platform. But rising up air in like this position, if you like jumped here and then use the up air to attack right here, like right here when he like jumped up to the platform in between stocks, attacking this little spot because like Fox loves being there. All right, how'd you get hit? He grabbed you out of that. What were you doing? So there was a lot of like weird stuff happening there. When he like dared your shield, he should have got grabbed for it, but I don't think he went for anything. You shielded. So say whenever you go for a fair on Fox's shield, uh, unless you're at like the very highest of level. Oh, especially at like a place where he can shine out a shield to hit you. Except at the very highest of level, I think you kind of want to just like do anything but shield, only because he can technically shine out a shield and start wave shining you, but it's also like really hard, and I would say kind of don't worry about that. But I don't think you want to shield after doing an aerial. It could have possibly been like nerves because at this point in the match you're under this thing. Shield to pressure. I don't know if this was like the very first time you hit shield. I kind of wasn't paying as much attention to your shield pressure exactly because you just didn't get in the position too much. But shield pressure, be sure to follow through. I'll say that's like you're in the position where you have an advantage and you kind of gave it up by just holding shield and you got grabbed because of it. Also, something to note is that when you jumped into the air, he shielded. And he didn't hold down, and he also didn't use movement to like get away. So that's just something to check out. He stayed shield when you jumped. Which isn't something that is necessarily a habit, but it's something to like take note of. That was good. Doing down smash afterwards though kind of isn't too great in the sense that it doesn't really give you much except for like what, like 15% or something like that. Through. I'll comment more on that as like shield pressure here. We'll be sure to follow through. We'll say shielded. D smash. So you shielded afterwards and you down smashed. We dash forward down smash. It's interesting because he was able to get around like all the other stuff we were doing, but then he lost to like 2 down smashes, which is interesting because I feel like down smash is easier for most people to beat, but it also like I don't know, it has like 3 hits, so it's kind of weird sometimes. Interesting. The 3 down smashes you did worked, but at the same time, they all kind of worked in the sense that he kind of ran into them. Him being a bit more patient would have been better, but actually this doesn't go in down smash. I'll say that this goes here. Down smash shows the hold your ground kind of mentality. And the fact that you wanted to stay in the center and that you like wave dash down smash and like use down smash defensively is a very like I'm gonna sit here and like stay here kind of thing. It's a tell. It's not necessarily a habit, but it's a tell that like you very much want to embody like the center of the stage. Like if I were to try to gather your personality from what I've already seen, it shows that you very much want to like deal with his options like up front, and that also sometimes you're not too confident in like doing things that are harder. And so you've been kind of giving up on places where you can follow through and get a lot more by doing things that are like easier and also cover like a little bit different options. I'll say like down smash kind of covers like a larger time, even though it's like a little bit worse. So like so far, I can tell you want to like take that spot against Fox. Now it's not necessarily bad to want that, but the fact that you like have something that can be read like that makes it easier to predict what option you're going to do next. And so as things go on, I'll like comment about how you can fix it. Oh, shielding and grabbing is also like one more like hold your ground. Like I don't want to move. I'm not going to roll. I'm maintaining this position. More so the concept of it, not exact options or anything. Okay, so you walked forward after this and you took this position. It's not necessarily a bad one, but if he were to like get onto a platform, he could possibly like turn it around with a dare. And then also him attacking from this spot, he can attack like this entire area. This is, I guess, another uh, example of the conceptual idea of I want to deal with your options. And so a good option would have been to wave dash to like just around here, not under the side platform, but like very close, and like started charging needles in order to like make him forward. It's something that you haven't utilized yet, and it really helps because it promotes them to like approach, and also needles are just very nice to have. Let's go back a bit. He's been doing this like weird tilt pressure a lot in the game, so it's like good to know. Shield pressure. Fox. Lots of tilt pressure in general. This is good to know because shine pressure is way better, and just tilt pressure, sometimes you can just like get out of it and suddenly you're fine. And if you like roll though, it's kind of a little bit easier to react if he just jabs you once and he sees your roll and he can like attack. So it could be possible that he's like trying to like make you do stuff like that. Forward tilt on shield, I'm guessing. You have been doing a lot of things that were like catching him moving out of stuff, and so the forward tilt kind of makes sense. Um, I guess in general, because you try to attack more like you like holding stage and stuff like that is kind of an example of like you want to hit him before he hits you, and then the forward tilt is also an extension of that as well as the down smashes. So I can show your personality. I want to hit them before. Oh shoot, they hit me. I want to hit them before they hit me. I don't want to wait. Two things that are just like extensions, and if somebody's able to like pick up on that like quickly, uh, it could be possible they can like read options in like specific scenarios. You also hold your ground. Doesn't roll too much. Not as mobile. Because I feel like you want to just like actually hit him and stuff like that. Playing more defensive could be a good extension of like mobility. Um, D-smashing in place of more precise and punishing tools. Okay. Jab forward tilt, and then he caught you coming forward, which I think he's hasn't been doing too many preemptive options, but he did catch that jump like very specifically. It seems like he felt like you were gonna approach in that position and just put out the up smash because of that. So it shows that he kind of like picked up on it. Having said that, your short hops into like fair have been doing pretty well throughout the match, so I can't really like kind of catch you for that. I guess with that specific spacing, like right there, the dash attack was also him kind of covering you coming forward at that moment. He's catching you approaching in specific timings. It's like right after you're able to move, you tend to attack like just a second afterwards. Not like a second, but like less than a second afterwards. Um, I'll show you the next time I feel like you're gonna do it, and I'll try to pause like at the exact same time. Also, I'll say it also would make sense if you did this, and like it's just because you're kind of feeling nervous because it's like the game isn't going in as much in your favor. It looks like you jumped and he nared. Yeah, it makes sense. You were in this position, and him being over here, he kind of just like nared to cover this approach. This kind of nair here is a very good example. It's not too good of a nair in the sense that if it hits, that it very much shows you that he was expecting this option. So like his transparency is very high here. He's transparent in the sense that he isn't hiding the fact that he's reading your options, which can lead to better adaptations and I'll see if you like pick up on that in the later games. But he catches you approaching a lot, so like that's kind of an extension of this. Although I didn't stick to my word of like, oh, this is like, well, I'm gonna pause it and stuff like that. Right here, when you're in shield and he's like kind of right around this platform, he has like a lot of options, just like moving out of the way. Like he has a lot of options. He can like go to platform stuff like that. I think it'd be better to like back up and like maybe take this position here, so that if you were to do that type of nair or some type of like approach option, you're not stuck. Because all you can really do while you're in shield there is like do an aerial or just like get the hell out of there. I guess in that sense, you're not moving back as much as you could, and I think that's an extension of your personality actually, which is don't want to move back. I think I already say that by saying like hold your ground, but it's still like important to say that. The forward tilt that you got there, to knock him that way, was very reminiscent of what I would have expected your Sheik to do. Even though it worked, I would also say it's good that it worked, but it made sense that that forward tilt came out there. Okay, so he did pretty well. I'm trying to think. So after game one, it showed that he stuffed a lot of your stuff, and as you tried to like move forward, he very much picked on it quickly, and also kind of like just did tech skill fox. One of the problems with picking those positions as Sheik is that it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough to try to go for those spots because if the fox is very technical, you can sometimes just get overrun by the fact that like you play Sheik and they play fox. Because your out of shield options, you have like one that's fast, and then like the rest, like even then it all still kind of loses to like a lot of stuff. But I'll be saying if your out of shield options, you use Nair a little bit more to like cover your stuff. Right. So going into game two, if I were you, I'd be trying to back up a lot more. But I don't think you're gonna do that. So I'm trying to think of how you would do it. Um, hmm. Well, he hit you before you got there a lot of the time. Like you weren't putting out a hitbox, then he hits you. You are about to put out a hitbox and he hits you. So it's something to like keep in mind that he's hitting you more preemptively. Uh, there's three times where a person can hit you. It's before hitbox, during, after. Let's put these little quotes here. Uh, it's good. It's hard to analyze like yourself and like what's happening and how to adjust during a match because of stuff like this. But a good way to realize it is to just recognize when you're getting hit. And if you're getting before your hitbox comes out, it could be a lot of things. But for you, I think it's your positioning. And so you're getting hit before your hitbox comes out because your positioning is very forward, and it doesn't allow you to like catch anything that he's doing or really be preemptive because he's so close that he's hitting you preemptively. And there was a lot of things in the match, and I think that getting hit before your hitbox comes out isn't as much of a tell for him, but more so how he's interpreting your movement. He's very much like, okay, I can throw stuff out because he's so close to me and he really wants to be next to me. So him like possibly just picking up on some of these things of your personality as a player or like in game shows that trying to attack you before you can attack is like very strong. A good way to deal with this is to attack during, like with needles, or after by like kind of hanging back and positioning and possibly just trying to grab some of his aerials. So I'll look forward to stuff like that. I'll also try to look at punish game a little bit more in this part, and also platform because it didn't seem that there was as much platform stuff. To kind of get away from just first impression readings. That was already good. He did an unsafe aerial on shield, and you punished it. it's good to get these guaranteed punishes, but it should show him that like, okay, this is a lot different from last time. Good nair to shield. Interesting. It looked like he got out of that. Okay. It seems like he did the shine a little bit late, and then you did land right after the dare, but it didn't seem like you had enough time. That's weird though, but I would have definitely gone for that like same type of grab right there. So I have like no criticisms of that at all. Also there was something else that happened. He spot dodged and then very directly attacked from the platform. Uh, it feels like he's like the way they're using the platforms here. He's like not as comfortable on platforms, which gives you a slight advantage in the sense that you can go for more like unsafe up airs or like up airs that might get you a little bit more damage, but are like not as I don't know plat. Can go for more shark due to of proficiency. He wasn't really doing a lot of platform type approaches in the first game, which I didn't really say because I just didn't really think about it because he wasn't doing it at all. But it shows that you have. It shows that if he's on platforms, you don't have to be as worried as if you're playing somebody from like Tally or some shit. I don't know if UCF is on for this. You did different pressure in this game, which is nice because before you were kind of just doing shield into aerial into like tilt and kind of like staying in place. And here you're kind of being more mobile and not really attacking the whole time, but staying on this half of the stage, which I like. That forward tilt's something you were doing. So I guess I'll say when it comes to your personality, it might have been that you were scared. And so the way that you're adapting by composing yourself. Or as I would say, if in mid match, I'd be like, "Wow, he really hit me," and like a whiff punish. Whereas before, he wasn't doing any whiff punishes. He seems to be more composed than he was in the first game. That in the sense of though, like I just got forward tilted, and like I would kind of think something like that in the sense of that's an option he didn't pick at all in the first game, and he suddenly picked it here. But in the first game, I like did a lot of damage. So the fact that you do that forward tilt, it very directly called out the fact that he was trying to hit you before you came forward. And so it's very good that you kind of picked up on the fact that he was hitting you very preemptively. Does that get you a kill? Oh, damn. Good shield drop fair. What could you have done here? I was expecting just a bear into like grab ledge or something like that. I don't know if that would have worked necessarily, but all worked out. Alright, so you take the first stock. He did this nair trying to catch you like doing stuff, and it's good that you're over here, but you missed the grab. How'd you miss it? Oh, is he just straight up invincible? That'd be rough. Maybe that's why he didn't attack. Well, he's not invincible here. Oh, now he is. Okay, so he's definitely just invincible, and you just got shunted. Okay, whatever. You got hit in between stocks, so like that's not really much to talk about. Usually, I'll just like hold light shield and then maybe switch to normal shield or just like Shino stall there. There's no reason to forward tilt at this percent. Uh, it could be like almost even at this percent. You should just down smash, but it's like down smash is also kind of bad in the sense that it hits the same frame, but like it doesn't do. They'll just kind of hit him onto the ground. If he was a little bit faster at reacting, he kind of did. He like turned this into like a good position for him. Although he just kind of rolled out of it. But it's good to note that like he didn't really react too well to the forward tilt. But you definitely don't want a forward tilt there. I would definitely just grab. Raw grab is like very good against somebody who's like holding down. It seems like he was holding down, and then he might have like tried to run at you or something like that. That down tilt was a similar thing. He definitely landed after the up air and just held down, thinking you were going to throw out a tilt. Oh. Yeah, he kind of just landed and then held down. He didn't hold shield because there was like really no reason to, but he held down expecting you to like hit him right here, which is unfortunate because at low percent, getting a tilt kind of does literally nothing at all. At low percent, pretty much my opinion is you want to like only needle grab and like do an aerial, and the only time to use any sort of like tilt or stuff is if you've like conditioned them into trying to dodge stuff so they're not holding down as much, which at this point in the game they definitely aren't doing. Avoid using tilts at low percent. Replace with grab, needle, aerials. Now you were doing aerials at low percent, but it's pretty much here. It would have been better if you just like nared after he did that up air on the ground and just retreated or like grabbed him out of like his landing and stuff like that. Definitely, I would say grab him because if he just lands right in front of you with an attack that missed, grabbing is just like the easiest thing. And as long as like the grab doesn't come out the same frame as shine, like it like works. So I would say avoid using tilts at low percent unless as a super mix-up. Pretty much if they like don't expect you to do a tilt, at that point you should tilt. But everyone expects a Sheik to do a tilt, and then until they've proven that they're not going to do it, because Sheiks love tilts. That was pretty good. It seems like you didn't expect to get the grab, but it's still good that you did it. The down smash worked out. It seems that he's not too good at dealing with down smash. Although I guess against a better Fox, it would like work out better. He isn't as aware of the percents for a good time to ASDI down grab, and so your fair really worked out, and that's like a good reason to like use aerials and stuff because it's like hard to do that. He's spamming ASDI down, although not proficient. I don't know if I spelled that right. This is good to note in the sense that you can kind of catch him out of a lot of stuff. Although I don't think he'll do it in the rest of the set because it's like a really weird trick. But it's like if you know that an attack's gonna like knock someone down, they'll just hold down and slam into the ground. Whereas if they like were more aware of it, they would just be able to ompt attack out of the way. So like in this case, him just spamming a grab after you fair him is like a very it's a lot of information that you can pick up on. Like him making a mistake like that is very like good. People making mistakes is a lot of good stuff. If I was a Sheik and I faired him at that percent, it's like okay, you're really just holding down and trying to like punish whatever the hell I'm doing, which is good to know because it shows that a lot of the other times that you got hit for holding down, he knew that it would work, but he didn't understand the fullest extent of whatever's happening. Having said that, it's still hard to deal with. I was expecting a tomahawk grab or a tomahawk up tilt, but you got away. That's good. This was good. If I was on a platform, I would literally just be holding shield and just hoping that you would try to hit me or expect you to like really delay whatever you're doing. And you kind of covered him running. That was pretty good. It shows that you kind of picked up on the fact, or maybe you're just attacking the platform. I don't really know why you did it, but it definitely worked out. It could be that it's an attack that you pick a decent amount, like against other foxes, but I think this was like the first time you attacked a platform. But I would definitely say that this is a good type of attack to do against this specific fox, because when he's on platforms, he likes to like run around. He doesn't like to just spam shield drop, and he seemed like he was just gonna like run at you and try to attack off this side. That was a good bear there. See, like right there, he could have definitely done something else, but he jumped after like shield. So good, I guess. So he caught you out of shield. Let's look at this very specifically. So don't forget, if you have invincibility and he's being stupid, just like hit him. Did the nair and he caught you out, so he kind of called out your out of shield option, and then he up tilted and you got out of there. Okay, it seemed like a very just weird scramble. In this scramble, he used a lot of tilts, seeming to try to like catch you out of stuff, and then the aerial was like very directly to catch an aerial out of shield or just like you shielding there. He might have realized that from the beginning of this match, you reacted very quickly out of shield after he was touched, and so he's kind of doing the same stuff that he was doing. But the way to beat that kind of pressure is to like kind of wait for the tilt and then just punish that. Whereas the tilts are kind of done at like certain timings that like make you want to like jump out into the tilt or like the aerial attack. So ways to beat that pressure. After this wave dash that you did here, you can definitely just hold down and have grabbed this nair specifically. I think you actually do hold down. Yeah, so you for sure have enough time to grab that nair. Ooh, is he behind you? Oh, he's right there. That's rough. Okay, if he was in front of you, yeah, I guess you've been able to grab it. That's kind of rough. I would have definitely missed a grab there if I did that wave dash. Um, I guess I'll say from this position, there was really no reason to try to like take center, especially if Fox was already here. To try to like put aerials down and like lock him in. The Fox has already shown that he's very willing to like attack you preemptively, and so maintaining this position, kind of like you were doing at the beginning of the match, might have been a little bit better. Kind of staying around here against this specific type of Fox is a lot stronger, and if you can even get the Fox to camp and like wait you out, it gives you a lot more breathing room. Whereas he seems to be rushing you down really hard. Um, how can I say this? Can still play more passively. And it's not saying that like passively is just the objectively better option, but I think that overall adding it to your gameplay can not only like really help out and like give you openings that the passive gameplay can create, but it also makes it so that your gameplay of you trying to like take center stage and like be aggressive and like put tilts on their shield or like ace down or like just hitting them in general, uh, playing more passive makes those type of options better because as they're not expecting those options as much. Did you just like miss an L cancel there? I'm kind of surprised that you got hit. It seems like you missed an L cancel, and then he did kind of a late down tilt. So I guess that's unfortunate. Um, okay, never mind. At low percents, you kind of don't want to, especially against this kind of Fox who's really waiting and like holding down and waiting for you to like do stuff that's punishable if you hit his ASDI down. You really don't want to do aerials because he like will definitely go faster and like try to hit that kind of stuff. Like right there, he was very clearly just like he landed and you hit him out of his landing or whatever he was doing, and he attacked you. He's been doing this a lot, and a good way to deal with this is mixing in needles into your gameplay because it uh, makes foxes want to do that way less, and then also, uh, I guess fading away because you seem to be very close to him afterwards. Although down tilt is giant, so that probably would have hit even if you faded away. That was crazy. Huh, that was wild. Uh, that's a crazy little exchange. That's like a lot of what the hell's going on? I'm gonna say though, it seems like the way he approaches shield is due to wanting people to roll / act out of shield at certain times. This is good to recognize because as he hits your shield, he kind of wants you to like move, and so it's becoming more and more clear that if you like look out for like the little tells, like the fact that he's trying to hit your shield in ways with like very like low lag time attacks, such as just like down tilt, he'll up tilt every once in a while and you'll jab. He kind of just he's picking those because it's a lot easier to react to whatever you're gonna do after like doing that. It's something I kind of just like picked up on now, whereas in the first game, like I was just like, oh, I guess he's doing tilts, but he could also be just kind of like being weird. I don't really know. We'll continue. Oh, but you definitely are doing nairs very quickly out of shield, which it does get you hits sometimes, but it's also you've been doing it a lot more than like wave dash out of shield and other types of options. Hit play. All right. Good bear. Okay, so he's doing that cheesy stuff. He very much is just trying to get like a kill hit on you, and the way you're playing around here is perfect up until right about here, where you wave dash back, right? And after this position, like it seems like he's trying to just stuff you and like hit you with like a strong attack to kill you. At this point, the last thing I think you should do is approach in this position. Specifically, like where the way this fox is playing, he just like wants to kill you and he doesn't really want to play the game anymore. Fox very much gets impatient and goes for BS stuffing option. Don't spell it wrong. Something that happens to me as Puff is I'll be like trying to come in here, just like land on stage, and part of me is like I don't really want to like take so long to like get back to stage. But because of that, foxes will just attack like as close to the ledge as possible so that I just get hit. They'll even like stand on the ledge and up smash, and it's like they're trying to just completely bypass the decision making process when and just like, oh, they'll probably attack at some point. And so you got like 33%, which is like definitely more than like you should have gotten if he was like just if he just played neutral, he probably wouldn't have taken 33% just because of how he was playing. But he really just like gave up a lot of time, and you could have definitely taken the stock just after wave dashing back, just like waiting for him to be a fucking idiot and just up smash right here. Good way to pick up on this is realizing that he jumped into a lot of your attacks that were just kind of throwing stuff out. Like you kind of just spam stuff that was on platforms, like shield drop fair, and you got a shield drop bear and like something else. And he was just kind of running into it because he just wanted to bullshit the hell out of you. And so, in this very specific situation, this happens to me a lot. I guess that's the only reason I'm like trying to point it out. But you could have grabbed the nair. If somebody jumps off this platform, unless it's a dare, you can just hold down and like, fuck it. Even then, if you wave dash back, I think you could have also dodged it. It's also good to note that he jumped off the side platform. He's been doing it a lot, but at this time, uh, if you go back and you look at the way that he moves on platforms each time, he's way more likely to just run off or short hop off than to use shield dropping as much as he could. In that position, it's not like he could have used shield dropping, but because most of the time he doesn't use shield dropping, this short hop tends to. It seems a lot more probable that he's going to do it. Good to note for like in general. I get that he's just spamming aerials on platforms, not really shooting too much at all. How'd you get that grab? Good ASTI down / crouch cancel on the nair. You shielded for a while, so I think you could have done it earlier, and I think you might have been able to get out of it. But it's a good thing that as you're wave dashing, you held down and like got a punish out of it, because that's important to happen throughout like set. You can do that to Fox if they're not spamming dare. Good bear, and I guess he didn't have a jump or something like that. Okay, so after game two, it seems like he played a little bit different. There were like certain spots where you backed up and it was like very helpful, and you got some like good stuff. The entire composing yourself thing, you definitely played completely different from the first game, and I could almost like delete a lot of things from the first game and say like there was a fluke in the sense that you really didn't mean to do a lot of the things, or you weren't like as ready to like start, or maybe you like didn't expect him to be as good as he was as soon as you started, and like that's how it happened. Um, so the way he approaches shield, the way that he acts on platforms, uh, and how much he really wants to stuff you are three of his like biggest weaknesses that I would very much want to capitalize on if I was playing him in this match. And so the fact that he's stuffing a lot is like, okay, this guy is like trying to play Fox, and if you try to like come at him with a counter option, he's ready to like deal with it. Like if he like takes center and then you attack him, he's like, okay, I can hold down and like try to kill you for it. And so you can use that against him by like whiff punishing a lot more. Um, I'm not gonna bring up needles just because you haven't been using it, so I can't really like criticize anything that you're doing there. The way that he attacks shield, you're nairing out a shield very preemptively, and it's good, and it has hit him a few times. Um, he hasn't really shown to like consistently beat it, so it's like fine, and there's not really much to say there. Uh, but he definitely mixes up shield pressure very well. It's just that his shield pressure is like also tilt, so it kind of sucks. It's weird. Oh, game three. That fair and him grabbing it is something that he tried doing in the first game and he missed a few times, and he also like got I think a down tilt out of it also. But yeah, good to note that at this percent, if you do a fair like that, you want to be out of the up smash range because the up smash is bigger than grab, and so he can get a grab easily because shield is your fastest option and spot dodge takes until frame 3 to come out. So like fair in a shield like might be safe if he up smashes, but if he grabs, like you're completely screwed. You want to be outside of up smash range, like with your fair on crouch cancel, because you really don't want this to happen, like him to just grab you and stuff like that. So spacing of aerials at low percent is key to not getting as consistently punished. I say consistently punished because I think if you do space it, he still has the ability to like take control, but I don't think he's guaranteed as much percent if you do that. Good way dash back. This is a position where I definitely think you should be in a lot more often because he loves to attack like preemptively in like this sort of zone. So I think that way dash back was like good in that sense where this is a position I want you to pick more of. I think he tried to down tilt out of it, but he didn't have enough time. Hmm. So he did a double jab. If you had just spammed holding down and holding R and then mashing A, you could have got a grab out of it. Even though you got like 20 or so percent, uh, you could have got a grab and a tech chase, which is more. Having said that, your tech chases seem to be a little bit off, so I can understand going for like a less punishing option. But grab, I think in general is a lot more. And even if in one game, it doesn't seem like grab is gonna like win you the set. I think getting those grabs are like very important. That forward tilt that you did was a very you-esque forward tilt, and the way that he runned in is very reminiscent of him. It seems like you didn't necessarily pick the forward tilt thinking like it's a forward tilt that I think you would have done, and it makes sense that you did. And him running in is also like a running in that makes sense. So I think while you got the hit, it's good to know that you did a preemptive attack, and like that's the reason why you got the hit. Not that it was a bad thing to do, but more so like it's good to know why you got the hit. Is that like I don't really know how to say what I'm trying to say. I'll find a different way to say it later on. I like the moving back. It like made him second guess what he was doing, and he like kind of hesitated. He's seeming to mess up a lot more tech. Like he might be a little bit tilted. Good to note, and it makes it easier. You could possibly make some adjustments that are like good for later on in the set. Oh, you rolled. That's rough. We'll just say that didn't matter because you might have just tried to do shield drop air, or you just rolled 119. But doesn't matter. Um, if I were to say how to categorize you, I would say you're reactive Sheik. And I kind of waited until now to say that because it's more apparent as like time goes on, and you can't just tell after like a single game because you can switch it up very quickly. But you very much want to like as soon as they're in your space, you want to put out a hitbox or you want to like do something right away, even if it's a defensive option or an offensive option. I think understanding that you want to do that can help you understand when to like pull back and like understand that they're trying to read you and stuff like that. Like if you're playing me and I'm like this guy's a reactive Sheik, I'm more likely to stop in front of your face and you can like get a punish by going for some like weird option like run up grab, even if like it would make more sense to just forward tilt my approach or something like that. And so reactive Sheik uh, archetype. We'll call it an archetype. Uh, outside of game, think about how people try to play around someone that is going to attack ASAP, or that they think is going to attack. So it's like they're gonna hit me if I just run in. And it's not that it's bad to just run in, and it's not that it's good to just run in, but it's like if someone wants to attack you and you forward tilt their approach a lot, or you tend to attack them before they get to you, then people are going to like react in a different way and be like, okay, I have to like bait out their attack and something like that. So try to think about how someone wants to play around that and how you would deal with that yourself. So like if you felt like they're gonna hit you like right before they get to them, it's like it's a lot more beneficial to like stop in front of their face or like figure out the direct option to beat it. Like the way that this fox is playing, he very much is trying to deal with your options right away. So if you he runs in and you forward tilt him, he's more likely to say like, okay, I know I can just beat forward tilt and then beat it. Whereas probably the safest way to deal with it is like, okay, I can kind of just like get really close to him and then make the Sheik throw something out, like a down smash, like a wave dash forward down smash, or like a forward tilt in place. And then I can like dare him so that he can't ASDI it down and then try to kill him out of it. which is something that has happened a few times where he'll just like jump at you and dare, and something that'll happen a lot more because like if someone thinks the Sheik is gonna throw some shit out, like okay, they're gonna throw some shit out and then try to ASDI it down. That's kind of like the reactive Sheik archetype, and like a good way to like play around Sheiks. Like as soon as a match starts, it's like I'm just gonna assume they're a reactive Sheik and just like really try to make them throw stuff out. And if they're right, then they like have an entire game plan on how to fight against you, whereas you're just now like picking up information. Having said that, this is the preemptive fox archetype in the sense that he's going to try to attack you before you get to him. Also has a lot of tilts and does not wait. Not waiting is nice because you can really just deal with all of his options. Like say, oh, he shined my shield, I can like nair right away because like he's gonna shine my shield. Whereas the problem is that something that's very good against Sheik isn't just like really stuffing her, but like if you decide to like if you find a way to like beat a fox trying to stuff you by like stuffing them waiting so that you can just throw something out gets you grabbed a lot, and like fox gets a lot off a grab on Sheik. And so the reactive Sheik archetype kind of goes with the earlier stuff here, which is like your personality doesn't want to move back, holding your ground. You don't want to wait, and you want to hit them before you hit me. It's like all this kind of goes very much in line with this standard reactive Sheik, and it makes it easier to play around whatever you're doing just by like starting out, just by like seeing whatever's happening. Now I kind of recognized it like in game one, where it's like, ah, okay, you're throwing stuff out to try to stop it, but I didn't want to like categorize it until like just now. So we'll continue. I'll try to stop a little bit less. It's getting a bit long. These bears are also like very reminiscent. They're good bears, but it's also like trying to hit that spot. Good grab on the down tilt hitting you. He tried to grab as a result of him ACIing down. So it's like you can very clearly see that he has an idea of like what's supposed to be Sheik, but it's kind of playing against him. Hmm. As you can see, a lot of your stuff he just isn't in time to punish, and it results in him not being able to punish, and then you being able to get in a shield, and then like no one really getting a strong punish because you're both not really staying in ranges that are close enough to actually punish the other one. Like a good example is right here. He does the shine and just jumps for no reason. You throw out the forward tilt as a result of him coming down, and he sees that you're like able to like touch the ground here, and he goes for a dare, but he's like in no position to punish. In reality, what he should have probably done here is come down with like a nair or like something that's really safe on shield instead of this thing. Also, should have got that grab on the dare because like dare is pretty damn unsafe. Also, a lot more than the first game, he's done a lot of shine and then jumping right away. A great option to do is up air out of shield instead of nair. It hits above you, so if he like is higher than you, it hits. It's pretty fast and it has a better combo game than nair. So up air out of shield is amazing against full hop pressure boxes. Interesting. He really didn't pick too many deep attacks until right there. He did a lot of down tilts, but they're mostly like shallow down tilts, and that was like one of the first ones he did. He's doing a lot of running shine and just jumping in, and I think that you kind of standing your ground is kind of working against that because it's like a very direct counter in the sense of if he's running in and you're just throwing stuff out and like trying to like stay and like keep center stage, then he's gonna get hit a lot even when he could kind of bait out whatever you're doing in the center of the stage. He's doing a lot of weird stuff. I don't really understand what he's doing. Uh, by going for like jabs and forward tilts and then a down smash over here, you give up on a lot of like what could be a much larger punish. I think you get maybe like 20% in all. Maybe like 20, 25 to 30. Uh, maybe about 25. And you give it up. Sorry, you give up the possibility of getting a grab and like tech chasing to higher percents or getting like a stronger punish. There isn't, I guess, as much you can do, but like the best punish you can really get is grab and a tech chase. Although you were messing up tech chases, so I completely understand. He also said this was on netplay. This is on netplay, so like I can understand the entire idea of like really wanting to just get damage until they're at a good percent. Oh, you get like maybe 40% there. He's doing what he did at the end of the other game, where he's just spamming like kill moves, and I would assume kill moves and like it looks like he dash attacks, which kind of makes sense also. When people play like that, it's very good to completely shift gears and like whiff punish because it's like you're just throwing bullshit out to try to kill me, and so you can get a lot better like confirms, like possibly into dash attack or something like that, because dash attack is kind of nice at comboing this percent, or like even a dare, although dare is kind of weird. I'll say uh, when people drastically change playstyle at certain percents, adjust accordingly. I think if you hugged the wall and buried, he would have went out that way, but otherwise that was like fine. But like the tech is kind of annoying to deal with sometimes. I don't know why he's lasering there because you've definitely proven that you want to like attack him in this position. If you, I think a lot of Sheiks might like move backwards there, so he was trying to get some extra percent. But I don't think he was playing to you too much. He seems to be like a good fox, but he doesn't like pick up. Like he doesn't care about what his opponent is doing too much. He kind of just wants to like beat you. Something good to also like pick up because this kind of goes into the preemptive fox archetype. Because preemptive fox is like I just want to like stop you from doing anything. It gets you a kill, which is nice. 119. See, this would be like a great time to like just charge needles down here because he's literally just gonna like attack right away, which is nice. It's nice to just deal with that. I think he just stood there. Uh, maybe a short hop because he kind of only hit around this spot. But if you did a short hop, I think you could have got a fair as he like came down. Short hopping in the corner is like so good. Reaction tech chase, good fair. He's doing a lot of that like confirm stuff. If they spam jab like that, and if they do one jab, it might just be a good idea to like hold down afterwards if like it doesn't pop you up in the air, because then if they do a second one, you can just get like a free hit. That's like a micro thing that isn't like advice that'll always work, but like maybe just a good thing to. If they do one jab, sometimes they'll just do more because they're stupid. He was very much fishing for like kill stuff. Right, he very much changed how he played. Sometimes people do this on like last stock in like a position where they've kind of been losing the whole time. They'll suddenly start like doing really weird stuff. So here he's just full hopping. A good way to deal with this is call out the full hop by like full hop up airing or short hop up airing. And at this percent, it would like definitely convert in a kill. But the best thing about it is that it covers the fact that he's trying to just like dodge you throwing out tilts and like doing preemptive stuff. You're kind of buying into it because you seem to be attacking like all the time. Like he was here, you went here and got hit, and then he kind of like went over here and you went over here, and then he went back over here and you went over here. Like you're kind of chasing him down, and he's picking up on it by realizing like this Sheik is just trying to hit me, and I need to like win this game. So he kind of like he once again like drastically changed the way that he's playing, and picking up on that can like be really good. Using full hop up air is great at covering foxes that try to play like this. Foxes can't really stay on the ground and play like this because they risk getting grabbed, and if they go on platforms, it's similar to like jumping up and stuff. So like full hop up air is great when it comes to foxes doing this because you can definitely full hop around sheiks and shit like that. And if they only like forward tilt and like dash attack and grab, which you're mostly dash attacking and forward tilting and like stuff like that, you can like really get around sheiks and then like just dare them on the way down. And he got like 42% off of like just this slight adjustment. Probably the best way to figure it out is as soon as you got close to him like running away and then full hopping was like it's a very drastic change from the way that he was playing before, where before he would usually just rush the hell out of you if he like thought you were gonna approach and then get hit. But he's like, I've been getting hit, I'm scared, and he just kind of jumped up and like took some damage. It's good to note that foxes do this on like last stock a lot, and full hop up air is a great way to cover it. I'm just gonna say good narrow shield. Oh, that was it. Oh, that's rough. Oh, that killed. Okay, well that's the set. Uh, what can I say about this? Okay, so good things to keep note. A lot of things would have been easier if you had stayed back and recognized that he was being very preemptive. I think you realized he was being preemptive and adjusted by like kind of hanging back in the second and third games. But you could have done it a lot more and like got a lot more stocks. Kind of backing up, especially if they attack in that like preemptive zone, can give you like a free grab that like results in a kill. What I mean about the preemptive zone is like if they attack right here, right before you would kind of come forward and stuff like that. Not so much the shallow zone where like if you're trying to like go deep and they hit you, but like this zone where like, oh, you're gonna attack right away, well, I'm gonna attack you before you come out. And so by just like getting grab in this position, you can throw them off stage and like get better gimps and stuff like that. I don't think I saw you go for as many, or like you didn't really get him in the position to edge guard as much. But I think it's kind of a result of you trying to attack here more. And so I'd say change your overall positioning from attacking in this spot to like your interactions happening from maybe around here to here. Because this is like your best way to play, and you can definitely force a fox to approach by charging needles and also using needles a bit better in like comboing, edge guarding, and all that kind of stuff. You didn't really use any, so I can't like criticize, but it's more so try to use needles in general, and you'll find like more ways to use and not use it. Um, But if you also like make the fox approach you in this position, you can use the platform to like do a lot of crazy shield drop stuff. Where when you were on shield and shield dropping, you actually did get like a decent amount of you definitely shield drop better than the fox, even though fox has like better options on a shield drop, which is funny, but it kind of happens sometimes. Um, Overall, recognize that this is how you want to play the game. The reactive Sheik archetype, or like just in general, if I like this your personality thing, don't like try to change any of those things, but more so make additions to it to like make it less transparent. Like you want to hit them, you don't want to wait, you don't want to move back, you want to hold your ground, stuff like that. Like those things are gonna always be true, but you can hide it by saying like, yeah, I don't really want to wait, but I know that you know that, so I'm gonna like really pick this time to just like get some chip damage that you wouldn't expect me to get, or like stuff like that. incorporating more things that necessarily aren't reminiscent of your playstyle will help you do the things that you really want to do, which is like take center stage and like stuff them before they come in. The addition of options that have nothing to do with your actual options make the options that you have been doing stronger. So I guess I'll say that. Up air to shield, up air to shield drop. There's a few times where you like did a bear and a fair, but like up air is like pretty strong too. Um, I don't think you necessarily picked up on the fact that he wasn't using shield drop the right way, but it's definitely good to watch stuff like that, like at the very beginning of the match, because that's something to check out. Um, what's it called? You stopped shield grabbing after game one. Now that I look back at the notes, well, it's not that you stopped shield grabbing, but you like started naring a lot more in like game two. Naring and up airing out of shield are like very good at just dealing with a lot of pressure because one is like frame 6 out of shield, and one of them covers like full hop and all that kind of bullshit. So it's good stuff. Keep in mind this stuff where of when they attack before hitbox, during hitbox, after hitbox. If you had picked up on the fact that you were getting hit all the time, like before hitbox, I feel like you could have drastically changed your gameplay to like always attack. See, like right there, even that's like a preemptive thing. But like you could have very drastically changed your gameplay to like with punish and like get a bunch of gimps at like very low percents. If you realize that you were getting hit before the hitbox came out. And you also go for a lot of before hitbox, so it really made the game a lot closer after you kind of like composed yourself going into game two. Overall, it's a pretty nice set to watch. It was nice that you adapted after game one. You like, he seemed to like play a little bit less like focused, and then you focused a lot more, and I'm glad that you did. It was good stuff. It was a entertaining set overall. I hope this was a useful set. I hope this helps out. Uh, don't forget more needles. They're like good. They beat crouch cancel, so it's just like so great. But yeah, here's my set review on Future versus ORP550. If you want to discuss anything here, just let me know. Go here, go to the top. All right, cool. Have a good one.